Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Twambi. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me and please do consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for the support and just for being part of the gang. I am aware that I didn't post a video last week, not very consistent of me, but my week was super hectic, and on top of that I wasn't feeling too well. But I'm here now, and today we will be talking about, I will be talking about the Proverbs 31 women. So, growing up, I heard a lot about the Proverbs 31 women, obviously, and most of what I heard gave me the impression that she's just basically a good wife and a good mother. So, I had this picture of her being a perfect homemaker and a Stepford wife, really, who just bakes cookies in the shape of Bible verses. Now that I am an adult, my perspective has kind of shifted, and I'm beginning to discover different dimensions to her. I do believe that everyone gets a personal revelation of the word that is relevant to them and to their lives. So today I will be sharing my interpretation of the Proverbs 31 woman and just sharing parts of her that I kind of overlooked in the beginning. I wish I would have been able to read through the whole thing, but I'm trying to keep this video short, so I'll just be referencing specific verses. As you're reading through the first couple of verses, the first thing you notice is that the Proverbs 31 woman is a working woman. She has a career and she plays a role in providing for her family. So it's quite clear that she is a businesswoman, she's an entrepreneur, but verse 18 specifically says that her business is profitable. So you know that she's not just doing business just to pass the time or just to keep herself busy, but her business is beneficial and her business is lucrative. On that same note, verse 16 says, she considers a field and she buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. That to me speaks on how she is an investor. So she's not just spending and splurging her money on whatever she wants, but she's making wise financial decisions, and she's strategic about how she spends her money so that her money grows and that her money works for her. This brings me to her husband. Verse 23 says that he is respected at the city gates where he takes his seat among the elders. And I read that at the time, the men who sat at the city gates were basically involved in all the trade and in all the decision making. So her husband is a leader, her husband is influential, and he is respected in society. Not to mention he's financially well off. So these guys are basically a power couple. The Proverbs 31 woman is one half of a power couple. And I love that these guys both have like individual lives and individual careers or hustles or whatever you want to call it, but they still support and complement each other. It reminds me of a saying that goes, your most valuable asset is your partner. Another thing I noticed about the Proverbs 31 woman is that she is a giver and she's constantly pouring herself into others. I think she has the sort of life and the sort of circumstances where she has all these servants and her man is paid, so she very easily could have been like, hey, I can't kill myself, I'm just going to enjoy my life and be cute. But she is pouring herself into her family, taking care of her family. She's pouring herself into her work. And on top of that, verse 20 says she extends her hand to the needy. So you know she's involved in like charity and helping the poor. And I think this just speaks volumes about how she is driven by purpose. She wants a life that is bigger than just herself, and she wants to live a life that is bigger than just making herself comfortable and just basically existing. So, like, the Proverbs 31 woman kind of sounds too good to be true at times. Like, she's just doing it all. She is keeping her man happy, she's keeping her children happy, her business is thriving, she's managing her work as well, she's looking good and she's well dressed, and her kids are not crusty and dusty. They're well taken care of, and it kind of makes you wonder how she does it all and how she just manages to be this multifaceted and play all these roles without burning out. So the first thing I noticed is she has help. She has servants and she has people helping her. And sometimes we associate having extra help with being incompetent or with being lazy. But I think that she doesn't have help just to boss around or just for her to relax and to be lazy, but I think she has help so that she can be able to delegate tasks and focus her attention on the most important or the most demanding tasks. And this really resonated with me because I'm the sort of person that finds it really hard to ask for help because I don't want to be a burden. So even when I really need it, it's just very hard for me to ask for help. And it reminds me of when I had just started my business, and the people that I was paying to help me weren't enough. And it reached a point where my entire family had to step in and help. So my sister was helping me, my mom was involved, even my dad was involved. So I think it's important to just ask for help where it's needed. If you have friends or family that are there and willing to help you, then you should make use of them. And lastly, and most importantly, she fears the Lord. I think verse 30 really sums it all up. It basically is the backbone of this entire scripture. A woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. It basically just explains where she draws her strength and how she's able to basically just be a superwoman. I don't think it's possible for us to be all things to everyone at once, and I don't think it's possible for us to win everywhere at once because we are human at the end of the day. But I do believe that when you involve God in your day-to-day tasks, He shows you which wins matter on that particular day. I think when you involve God in your day-to-day tasks and just let Him lead you, He shows you where to focus your attention or where to focus your energy on that particular day. I'm starting to realize that wins don't look the same every single day. I think the goal for every day is different. Sometimes a win is meeting a deadline. Other days, a win is just when your bank account is popping. Other days, a win is just being able to hold it all together when you're having the worst day and you just want to have an emotional breakdown, but you're able to maintain a positive attitude and not take it out on someone else or just be nasty. Other times, a win is just being there for a friend. Other times, a win is stepping outside of your comfort zone and just doing something that you wouldn't normally do. So, Yeah, and I think involving God also helps you to maintain some sort of a balance, because I've noticed when you try to do things by yourself, you'll find yourself in a place where, say, your finances are good but you've been neglecting your relationships, or your character is just nasty. So, yeah, that's not to say that you'll be this perfect person or you'll get it right every single day, but I think that when you just do life with God, you're able to see progress. You're able to see yourself evolve from the person that you were yesterday and the person that you were 2 weeks ago or 6 months ago. So, yeah, ultimately, that is what we should strive for: progress, not perfection. So this brings me to the end of my video. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm starting to realize that I actually enjoy talking, and I hope you learned something new. I will see you in my next video.